Wow. I think you might be a Briarthorn super fan.
I'm getting close to it. I will say that. I'm not 100% sold yet. I need to see what he brings for week 7.
Got it.
I must protect.
Not quite there just yet.
Yeah, if he does deliver though, then yes, I'm a super fan.
Oh, Briarthorn! I've been having a lot of fun watching him just because I'm waiting eagerly anticipation to see his first like sharp emotional reaction. I think that's part of the hype on my side. I'm ready. I'm like, surely after this ridiculous outcome from the Ysera portals, Briarthorn will give us something. And he does it every single time. And I guess consistency is the name of the game. Anyways, kind of a little bit less on the fun side where we're kind of talking about the players here. Let's talk about the decks. Libram Paladin starting off with the Outdoor Attendant and starting off pretty strong. Having that early Penflinger, TJ, you love Penflinger, and when we were testing this deck, it seemed to be one of the all-stars of the deck. It actually gave a lot of range for Libram Paladin to have surprising amount of removal, decent amount of tempo options, and just look, be able to use the Libram of Wisdom and use his mana efficiently.
Yeah, it gets really powerful when you start getting to the later stages of the game when your Librams are free, and you play like Lady Liadrin, and you're constantly stacking free Librams on targets. When they die, you can just resummon another minion, stack a Libram of Wisdom, Penflinger, stack a Libram of Wisdom, Penflinger, and you can use it for just additional face damage or for removal, and kind of make it really awkward for your opponent, especially if they're playing just like, medium-sized threats each turn. Also, just being able to weave it in for damage feels quite good. So, just a hero power this turn, it's kind of an expected play. Next turn, Briarthorn has a high Abyss Allura and a coin, which in this deck in particular, it's not as high value because you're not playing like those huge buffs. He already has a Libram of Hope in hand. Okay, actually going to go for Aldar Trueseeker. One of the reasons why holding on to High Abyss Allura in this matchup, especially with the Libram of Hope in hand, is that you can hold it and try and fish for, let's say, Libram of Justice. Because the deck plays much more limited spells. It plays Light Forge Blessing, Hand of Adal, Libram of Wisdom, First Day of School, and the Libram of Justice and Libram of Hope. So you're not playing like Blessing of Authority, Blessing of Kings, those types of big, immediate power on the board. So you can kind of hold it and wish for kind of this wish for the perfect card, like Zephrys.
There you go. It's like Zephrys. It's a very nice summary of that. 2 Librams, TJ. That's a lot of pens.
Yeah. So he can go Penflinger, High Abyss Allura, Libram of Wisdom on the Silverhand Recruit, and then have the ability to trade it in, get the Penflinger back, and pull a spell from his deck.
Yes. Oh, he's going for the Libram of Wisdom first.
So he wants to go double Libram of Wisdom?
Yeah, he wants to double it up.
See what his card draw is?
Okay. He has first day of school
now,
so
he can put more Librams with Penflinger, and he actually gets Penflinger damage onto the minion that comes out, so this is better.
Yeah.
But just a face damage it is. If it was a Desert Hare, though, he could have killed it. So good sequencing.
Was there any value of playing the first day of school? No, because that opens himself up to... Nah. I think this is totally fine. I'm kind of wondering, like, do we want to get any 1-drops onto the board whatsoever? But, even if there's no Lake Threshers in the Malagos Druid deck for ETC side, I still think that you're giving targets for guardian animals to rush into, and you want them to attack into Allura.
Yeah. Yep. And also, like, same reason why he held on to the Libram of Wisdom here. Because you're playing, like, Double Wild Pyromancer and Penflinger, unless you absolutely need to put the immediate power on board, or you need the 1-drops for additional pressure right now, there actually is a good amount of value into holding on to it, because it has so so much just like incremental damage value as the game progresses because of Penflinger Wild Pyromancer. So I do like the hold in that situation. All right. But these turns can get kind of crazy with Penflinger because you do have to kind of math it out. And if you don't have anything on the board that can trade, with Libra of Wisdoms, you can't like keep that train going.
It does get a little bit weird with how you want to answer this board, because the thing about Libram Paladin is that it doesn't actually have a lot of flexibility with their swing turns unless you have played your Libram discount. So if Briarthorn plays this Aldor, he's going to reduce things like Libram of Justice and his Libram of Hope. And so he's just going for maximum tall, wide boards. Few amounts of opportunities for his opponent to trade into things. And now ETC has the opportunity to play a lot of cards here. Like, first you have to evaluate what you're going to do. Also, the sequence does matter. If you trade Sixor and then you like overflow, for example, you do increase the chance that you draw Sixor Prime.
Yeah.
Next. But you do want to overflow, right? Because you have the Forest Warden Umu and the Germination.
Yeah. And there's no beasts left in the deck for Guardian Animals, so it's just a dead card in the hand.
Right. So overflow does look really good here. Oh my. Oh my. Well, too bad none of them get discounted significantly here, but still a lot of power and a lot of burst. Briarthorn smiling? I don't think so. ETC picks up Starfall. Yeah, definitely not. Now this is a lot of power on the board, TJ. Libram of Justice is pretty sick in this spot in particular. And I like that Briarthorn still has that Penflinger dynamic. I think he was anticipating perhaps a bigger board coming out before he would commit to that kind of stuff, because then you could play Hero Power with the Penflinger and then get a bunch of stacks with it. But it seems like Briarthorn's just going to go for a little bit of poke. Finds a Wand Thief. Finds a Pyroblast. Or Counterspell?
I guess you pick Pyroblast.
I cannot wait to read.
You sound really unenthused about that. I am hyped for Pyroblast. Are you kidding me?
Briarthorn's just dead.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Forest War Nomu.
exactly lethal, I think.
You too will bloom.
You get to Germination, Malagos, Moonfire, double swipe, Hero Power, and you get to attack with Twilight Runner, which is exactly 30.
Right, I forgot about the attack with the Twilight Runner. You're right. I kind of thought that he had this chance with the life, but man, it looks like he's not going to be able to get there. Just too much power coming out from the Malagos Druid combo off the Forest Warden Umu. And that's going to do it for game one. Malagos Druid just drawn so much damage. And Briarthorn unable to stop that, right? Like, that's kind of the weakness of the Libram Paladin. He actually did get a chance through the Wand Thief, but the counterspell was too expensive.
Yep. So the matchup has kind of been flipped a little bit since like the original forms of Libram Paladin. The original forms of Libram Paladin were considered to be like Druid counters, but now the deck has teched in all this like additional stuff to try and make your deck better against like more of these board-centric matchups, more of these like aggressive matchups. Right, you're more aggressively drawing with Salad's Pride. You have Wild Pyromancer, Penflingers, less just direct buffs, less ability to kind of high roll these early game boards with Argent Braggart and like Goody Two Shields. And so outside of just killing everything they play and sticking a big minion on board, you can suffer from this fact that you just don't pressure as fast as the deck once could when it was built a little bit differently. So I think you can see it in that form there, where Briarthorn did not have a bad start by any means. That was actually a pretty decent start. He just kind of got outpaced by a good hand for Malagos Druid, and that'll happen. But that matchup doesn't even matter, Dan, because this is not Briarthorn's game plan. His game plan is not to take random wins against Malagos Druid. His game plan is not to, maybe I'm going to try and upset this Secret Rogue that ETC is playing. No, his game plan is to hard target Bomb Warrior with 8 Kobold Sticky Fingers in this lineup. That's his game plan. And it's still on the table.
Love it. And I think that, he's playing Conquest the way it was originally kind of framed, as like a way that you can make the weakest decks really suffer. And that does seem to be what's happening here, as the Warrior is going to march slowly closer. I think ETC is probably going to not play his Warrior to the very end, just give his get the wins with the other decks. But we'll see what ends up happening here in game number 2, as we're going to take our final break of today. So when we come back, we're going to have ETC versus Briarthorn game number 2 and find out if Briarthorn can target that Warrior.
Hearthstone Grandmasters is brought to you by T-Mobile. Switch today and rank up to America's largest 5G network. T-Mobile.
$7 本の指か7本の足か選ぶなら7本の足かな。ハーストーンができなくなるのがちょっと怖い。
应该是7只手指吧，因为这样就可以做比较多的事情。然后7个脚趾也不一定会走得比较快。
평소에 손이나 발 사용할 때도 손이 더 활용도가 더 많이 높은 것 같아서 네, 손을 선택했어요.
손가락을 많이 필요로 해본 적이 없어서 저는 오히려 그게 더 편하지 않을까 생각합니다.
아무래도 게임 좀 많이 하다 보니까 좀 더 유리할 거 아니에요? 게임하는데 그래서 손가락 7개인 게 더 나을 것 같습니다.
どちらでもなく腕を2本増やしたいです。
Welcome back, everyone, to Hearthstone Grandmasters, our final stretch here of the second day of Week 6. Briarthorn currently going up against ETC. ETC is up 1-0. Malagos Druid really getting the job done. 25 damage plus the Twilight Runner That's an OTK. It's been kind of a while since we actually seen Druid do like the raw 30, because it just feels like they have to improvise so much. So ETC does end up having that first game win, but we talked about how it's all just the preface, TJ, the preamble, if you will. We're marching closer to the Day of the Dead, aka when Warrior gets to play against the Cobalt Sticky Fingers. Briarthorn, he's not going to be thrown off by any of this this rogue action, will he?
Saving it for last.
That's right.
Yeah, it's Seeker Rogue, not the weapon variant. So again, a bunch of dead Cobalt Sticky Fingers in the decks for Briarthorn. This matchup can get tough because Rogue just has so many tempo tools, meaning it's really difficult for you to stick minions onto the board, and your entire deck relies on you sticking minions. This deck a little bit better than the previous versions of Libram Paladin because you have a lot more ways to fight back on a board that you've lost, which is not something that the deck had in past iterations. If it lost board, it lost game. But now it's not the case. So a little more hope, but still, I don't think that this is a good matchup for the Libram Paladin.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There's just too many good ways for the Rogue to really mess with the Paladin. So, Briarthorn.
Was that good?
It was great. In which case, I wish that we saw Jirax's play so you can do the Jirax's VO as well.
Not good at the Jirax's one. My voice range is more Murloc than Demon Lord. But I can certainly try the next time Jirax is played in Grandmasters.
It's really disappointing to hear.
Sorry, I did let you down, Dan.
That's right, TJ. How could you? How could you? Kind of dialing into this game here. ETC getting that evil miscreant on the board. Can you do an evil miscreant voice?
I don't even know what evil miscreant says.
I cannot wait to read these.
I think it's you're up to no good, me too.
Oh. No, can't remember. Also not in my vocal range. Again, I'm more limited to Murlocs than anything else. Actually, I'm just Murlocs.
Right.
I could just do Murlocs.
Okay. I see.
There you go.
That's right.
Line.
It is Hearthstone Grandmasters After Dark. We get to hear TJ when he is completely delirious, and you can hear his dogs barking, his son's crying in the background.
This is my bedtime, and I just went back during our break, and it's almost bedtime for Ollie. He's getting his bath right now. He's just screaming.
Oh no! I don't want to take a bath.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah. The sound of the Murlocs is Ollie taking a bath.
Yes. And poor Karen having to deal with the boy bath while the baby's still awake. 3 babies in the Sanders household. Yep. All right, well, Briarthorn kind of plays a Salad's Pride. Salad's Pride is actually a really important card in this deck. I particularly feel like the card draw aspect of Paladin was like a really powerful aspect of the class when the Holy Wrath Paladin was a big thing, and a lot of those cards, still actually are there, but the Shirval is not, which means that the combo is not possible, really. So there's a lot of really good ability for Briarthorn to draw just high-impact cards. And also just to make sure that they don't get drawn later, and then you're just hitting your Librams at a really good time. And so, if ETC has an opportunity to grab tempo, sometimes it doesn't seem like we're going to see it this game, but sometimes I find that like sapping or doing the equivalent of it with the Blackjack Stunner or silencing the Salad's Pride ends up really sabotaging the momentum of Paladin. Yeah, it really does. It kind of gets rid of the chance for Libram Paladin to stick any meaningful pressure on the board. You know what I just realized, Dan? As Headcrack was offered as a choice, Headcrack's kind of like Penflinger. Oh yeah? Yeah, you need to combo with something to return it to your hand. No wonder and it's so just good. Recurring damage that keeps coming back into your hand every time you play it. You can't play it more than once a turn, but interesting. Maybe not as interesting as I'm thinking right now, but I think it is.
Well, I'm just waiting to see what Jandis comes out here to see if there's any interesting minions to choose from. But it does seem like you want to keep that spell damage. No actual way to convert off that spell damage for now. But maybe you pick something up. Would you preemptively trade? Actually, he does have a... Oh, you know, if he sequenced this a little bit differently, he could have actually guaranteed the kill on the minion. So,
yeah, he had gone with the trade on the Grand Mummy first, or he had played the Jandis, who would have guaranteed on a minion that he could attack with. We'll see if Briarthorn can punish with that. Libram of Justice with Penflinger action. He doesn't have another. I guess he does have another spell to combo with it with Lightforge Blessing. That's not a fantastic one. So you do this, you Libram of Justice, and then you can. I guess you can, yeah. So you can Penflinger. Captain Greenskin and Lightforge Blessing. It is a twin spell, so.
What if you just just make it a lot simpler instead of the Penflinger? That makes.
I really just want to make use of Penflinger, Dan. I just love Penflinger.
You just like its voice line,
I don't know what its voice line is. I don't know any voice lines until I hear them on Grandmasters.
You don't know? Wow.
Does he say?
TJ.
Does he say I'm flinging pens, buddy?
How'd you guess that? First Firehawk, then Penflinger. So smart. Oh jeez. Well, this was not great for tempo, but it was amazing for value. Sure. Oh, well, this is a tempo option. Oh, actually, this is really interesting to think about. How powerful are cards like Rattlegore and Dragonbane in this matchup?
Well, Rattlegore, but if he has time. Like Rattlegore, if he could play it now or play it next turn, sure, because Libram Paladin doesn't have a great way to continue to push past it. They just have to kind of ignore it.
Choose soon.
But if he does pick Rattlegore, his plays this turn is just a couple of secrets. But if he plays Dragonbane, like it just dies on board. So I think he just has to kind of use these secrets. Looks like he actually pointed the Shadow Step at the Feral Cat because he really just wants more value.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not too much for him to be able to generate onto the board anyways, so he ends up just kind of playing this Feral Cat just because. I think maybe there was worth evaluating if he wanted to play the Feral Cat, so that way he could play it with Edwin on the following turn. Because it was costing 0. And I don't think a 1/2 is particularly super powerful. I get that you get the Death Rattle impact, but it ended up not really mattering, and now Briarthorn's ahead. Okay, some very good Edwin pump-up tools.
Because he played both as well, he will overdraw at the end of, or at the beginning of his next turn, but
right.
I don't think he's too concerned about that because he's filling up the hand.
My hand is too full.
Right.
Vendetta, actually, Vendetta
that would have
hurts.
been really nice. Oh wow, burning the exact card you need because of plagiarize. TJ, we call that the Frodan. Because that's exactly what what happened in our practice games. I was like not really counting the plagiarize and the dirty secrets with how many cards I had. I was like, I have like 5 cards. Turns out I had 7, and then I like burned my card. And the next draw was Questing Adventurer, and the following one was Edwin. I was like, oh my god, oh, so bad. And I almost won anyways. That's kind of the funny thing. Because the Rogue is just jam-packed with random value and ended up having a ton of options in the mid-game.
Yep.
And ETC is actually caught in that exact same situation. no secret to really capitalize either.
Oh,
Prep
this is sick.
Libram of Hope.
Because you can Libram of Hope and then trade in the Grand Mummy to remove the Divine Shield and make this really awkward for Briarthorn, because now this will be a 9/9, which doesn't line up trades with these minions. I guess he does have Libram of Wisdom in hand, so it lines up a little better than you.
And he has Penflinger. Oh, okay. McGurgle Prime. I still think Penflinger looks better to me here.
Yeah.
Because you have McGurgle Prime and Broom. I mean, that's just nutty.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a Broomstick now.
Okay. Oh, wow. I like this a lot, actually.
Yeah, because then he gets to push 12. Because he gets to run over this with the Libram of Hope, and he gets to preserve the 8/8 because it'll still have Divine Shield. Oh, yeah, this is better.
Yeah, this is way better. All right. I dig.
Well, it has Blackjacks that are now active with the Dirty Tricks drawn. I was thinking like an Edwin this turn, but I guess he does need some like effective health gain, I suppose. So now he can find, looking for like Pressure Plate would be ideal. Freezing Trap as well. So that would negate every attack on board because he can Blackjack Stunner and then Freezing Trap.
Don't let the door hit you.
Yeah, I think that's what he has to do here. And that does make it really complicated for Briarthorn in terms of how he's going to keep up his tempo here. And I believe Briarthorn's played both of his broomsticks.
That's correct.
So he needs McGurgle Prime to get rushers out.
Or Chargers.
Or Chargers. Maybe both.
Get down!
Okay, ends up going for the first attack. Finds out that it's Freezing Trap. Truth Seeker. What if he just plays it again? I think he probably wants to play McGurgle Prime here, right? Like, Rogue has a hard time dealing with wide boards.
Yeah.
Is he going? Oh, he's just going to play the Ancient Guardian. Okay. I feel like that's one of his weaker plays, but you totally can do it. The reason why I like the other Truth Seeker is because I think that discounts his Librams enough off of Liadrin where he can go for like this ridiculous tempo swing with Penflinger. I also really like the McGurgle Prime there because it's a really big wide board and it presents 2-turn lethal.
Yeah, I really wanted to play McGurgle Prime there. It's just so difficult for Rogue to clean up. And like, okay, 4/6 and a 1/1, sure. Doesn't really need a taunt. He's at 28.
Right.
Just seems slow, unnecessarily slow.
Agreed. Definitely feeling like it could have been better here. However, I also feel like Briarthorn still has a chance because of that Lady Liadrin. So I'm not going to count out the Paladin just out yet.
Maybe he
Choose soon.
couldn't. He didn't test for the last Rogue secret. He didn't play a spell, so he didn't want to give ETC a McGurgle Prime.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know if that really matters too much, just because you're setting up a 2-turn lethal almost guaranteed.
Right, and if they play McGurgle Prime, guess what you get to do? You get to kill them.
Yeah.
So I'm in your camp. I wanted to play McGurgle Prime a turn ago, and this would have turned out to be the lethal push for Briarthorn.
Yep.
And now ETC has no defense. Offensive card. Okay, one thing to
Frost Nova?
find Frost Nova. Can he stay alive with
Frost?
the Ray of Frost? I think he can.
I give up.
No. He doesn't have. He buys one turn. That's it. So
Okay.
well,
Well, Paladin got the win. There you go, TJ. We weren't sure if decks like Paladin were the warrior killers, but looks like he was able to get the win versus the rogue, and ETC has to have one less life for the warrior.
yeah,
Briarthorn's playing with house money, TJ.
yeah, which is a pretty big deal because we haven't seen the Kobold Sticky Finger yet. So imagine if that happens in the warrior game where the Kobold Sticky Fingers are in the bottom half of his deck. Like he still could just lose these because, like I said, you look at like the Warma strategy that we saw in Europe, which is the whole deck is designed to beat Bomb Warrior. Whereas you look at Briarthorns, which is just their normal Hearthstone decks that have Kobold Sticky Finger in them. So they're not tailor-made for Bomb Warrior. They're just good decks with weapon tech. So there's a big difference there. But it is the Bomb Warrior weapon tech. So Briarthorn's going to move to Control Priest. And, yep, there they are again. This one has double Acidic Swamp Ooze, double Kobold Sticky Finger, even threw in a Cartooth Defender for good measure. This is like about as low value priest as you can get in their current iterations because he also cuts like a Wand Maker. He cuts the what else did he cut? Just I guess some of the top end a little bit because he also plays Breath of Infinite and a Penance. So those two cards have been largely cut from most of the Control Priest lists that we're seeing, and you're seeing like more Wand Makers, more Wild Pyromancers, even like Twilight Drake was in Muzzy's list, just like more minions, more early tempo. Where Briarthorn's just trying to play more reactive, more defensive style deck with his tech choices.
Yeah, we've been seeing some of these Control Priests really be able to get that tempo, but not necessarily the matchup that Briarthorn is looking for to utilize things like the Acidic Swamp Ooze. I do wonder how much he wants to keep it to maybe, take advantage of Rogue being a little bit slow. Maybe, though. Right now, it's still kind of awkward situation. I feel like with Briarthorn's deck in particular, he because he has these double Acidic Swamp Oozes and whatnot. Maybe he ends up just having a nice way to just curve out, and then because he has more things like Acidic Swamp Ooze and Kobold Sticky Fingers, he just has things to play, which means that he has targets for Apotheosis and ways to stay ahead on the board. Because sometimes just having that tempo option is okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can see how much he's playing for tempo because he coined out a Wand Maker. So he just wants to play his curve. He just wants to play Wand Maker into Acidic Swamp Ooze, into Mind Flare Garge. So, I mean, yes, Rogue is one of the best decks at wrestling tempo in the early game because they have backstabs, they have vendettas, and ways to activate them. Briarthorn realizes that because of the way he's constructed his deck, he's not going to win in a long-term value game as much as a normal Control Priest would. So he needs to try and wrestle early tempo in order to give himself a better chance in the series. I respect it.
All right, well, Briarthorn pretty much just playing his curve. ETC has to have these secrets do a lot, and the Vendetta is just used to stabilize. That's kind of what we're talking about. Like, Briarthorn has minions. EDC is just going to keep taking advantage of them, just having vanilla stats. There's nothing particularly super impressive about what Briarthorn's doing, but he just has minions.
Yeah. And Freezing Trap, the choice for ETC, I like that because a lot of times, priests are playing these isolated minions that they want to stick on the board and buff up. Freezing Trap out of Blue Drives and Flame Ward is much better. And because that Paladin secret there, He doesn't want to like play super hard into Redemption and give up Breath of the Infinite to do so. Just goes for Mind Flayer cards instead. Again, just kind of full on the tempo. He's okay with giving another turn of value for Shadow Jewel or Hanar just because there's not too much you can do with just 4 mana. Usually it's just 2 secrets. Actually, it is just 2 secrets. So, Bamboozle.
Yeah, this Bamboozle is... okay.
You didn't take it.
No, it's just more like...
I was interested in it.
I feel like it is better, though. Like, you know, when you look at the Bamboozle and you just think about how Priest tries to fight for the tempo, and you're not really going to be able to keep Hanar on the board, right?
Yeah.
So, I think the Bamboozle does make more sense to me. I think I liked it better there as well. Well, either way, ETC gets the card drawn, and now with the Freezing Trap kind of makes it complicated for Briarthorn to attack into him. Does Briarthorn want to... He can play another card here, and I think he feels a little bit more at leisure to do so because he saw the Dirty Secrets activated, which means that ETC doesn't have Plagiarize up, so he can just preemptively invest into his tempo.
Yep.
Twin Tyrant.
How much he is going to respect Freezing Trap here. Okay.
Give me a quest.
Questing Adventure. Oh, I thought he was going to follow this up with... he could have gone Questing Adventure, Cult Neophyte, Shadow Step, Cult Neophyte.
Just for funsies. I feel like when you see your opponent play Draconic Studies, though, you like know they're going to play a minion-based turn, so...
Yeah. Sure.
I feel like it's a lot weaker to play the Cult Neophyte.
Yeah. He also gets to stop this at 4. He could have stopped it at 4 with the other play as well. I think what the play is going to be is stop it at 4 here, protect it with Freezing Trap, and then next turn make it massive and protect it with Cult Neophyte. I think that's the play.
I think that play makes... I think that play is pretty good going into Briarthorn's like higher mana turns, given that he does have still some really powerful opportunities to swing the board if given things like Soul Mirror and whatnot. Brightwing, I guess. Nosdormu and Malagos. I mean, Nosdormu is a natural predator of ETC, but I don't think this is the time to pick it. Briarthorn thinking about if there's any justification of taking these heavy dragons. I guess maybe in his mind he feels like he can have an opportunity to play it. Wow.
All right.
Malagos was probably the dragon I was thinking about the least.
He's like, this goes late. I got you. Maybe because
with what? Holy Smite?
Penance? He's a Penance in his deck.
Yeah, Malagos Penance, Malagos Holy Smite.
But he's likely to expend this Draconic Studies before he gets to that point. So it is going to be Holy Smite, but Penance would be ideal. Oh, wow, Devolving Missiles. Holy moly.
That's huge. I mean, this questing adventure is going to get huge. Backstab. Cult Neophyte. 4 secrets up still. 2 turn lethal set up. Briarthorn has to answer this.
He's got...
Oh, wow.
Freezing Trap. Redemption.
Well, the Holy Smite tests for simultaneously Counterspell and Spellbender, so he's going to go ahead and activate that.
Oh, this is actually sick, because now Redemption procs on the Spellbender.
Right.
And then he gets to Shadow or Death, the questing adventure. That worked out pretty well.
Yes, I would say that was pretty close to ideal here for Briarthorn. And then freezing trap for the hyena. Not really a big
Nice. He's starting to take a little bit of damage here, though.
Okay. Okay.
King Crush!
Okay.
Snap pick from ETC. 6/6 Edward. Double Kobold
Okay.
Lucky. Now that is a Hearthstone hand right there. Give me more of that.
He's not going to even have time to play King Crush. He's just going to kill him with the Cobalt Lackey. But wait, Briarthorn drew Sticky Finger.
He drew the Sticky Finger. Ah, wait, wrong matchup.
Well, he's coaching him up for next game, TJ. He's coaching him up.
All right, that's
Thank
lethal. Back it up.
Oh, I really want to see the King Crush.
Well, he can mind vision the King Crush. Yeah. No reaction.
How did he not? How did he not
No
have an
reaction.
emotional reaction to that? Oh.
How?
All just part of the business, TJ. Another day in the office.
Another day in the office for Briarthorn. Like, yep, that's what I would have picked too. Good play, ETC.
Game number 3 going to ETC. He's on match point, giving his warrior 2 lives. Basically 1 life, right? Because it can't lose twice. But I guess it's like the idea that he wants to be able to get this win, and if he doesn't, ETC's lead over division does get shrunk a little bit. Briarthorn needs this win too because he's in that same territory as Nalgedan, except he's 1 loss deeper. And so if he loses here, he's 1-4, and he'd be another person that's the prime candidate for relegation.
Yeah. So we'll see if his strategy will actually work out. He's made his decks weaker against everything else to try and make it stronger against Bomb Warrior. Now it's time to put his money where his mouth is, because Bomb Warrior for ETC, final deck remaining. And it is just this straight up Bomb Warrior. It is the no risky skipper version. Instead runs the Warmaw Challenger Evil Quartermaster plus additional removal in Coerce. That package instead. It's the one that there's pros and cons to both, obviously. The Risky Skipper Armorsmith gives you more armor gain and more stuff to do in the early game to combat aggressive decks. Whereas this version gives you the opportunity to play more just straight up hard removal like Coerce. And still fit all your bomb stuff in. So better against decks that like to play big stuff, like Druid, for instance. But how well will it fare against a Druid, a survival Druid, that has 2 Kobold Sticky Fingers?
Class is in session.
Indeed. Oh,
There's one.
full keep. Full keep. Let's see it. Insta keep. Keep it all. Confirm.
That's right.
Next
Easy.
game.
All right, let's go to game 5.
All right. You know how I mentioned the Monsanto vs. Bloodyface Rogue Lethal earlier? This is going in top 5 plays. Briarthorn, full keep, game 4,
Hitting the
versus
confirm button.
ETC.
Oh, the nature study, so you can get it 1 turn earlier.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Okay. I think I like the Starfire here. Ooh, Soul of the Forest. Okay. Soul of the Forest
I
is
don't know.
interesting. You don't go super duper wide, but you know what it is? It's insurance against Brawl and Bladestorm, so I think it's okay. As you can tell, even Briarthorn wants to be ready for even the worst case scenario against Warrior.
What?
Which I don't.
ETC sees a full keep. Do you even play Wretch Caliber?
He's coining it out!
And he coined out the he's coining out the Corsair Cash one.
No,
I'm pretty sure you don't
indicated
coin out
you
the
want
Corsair
to.
Cash one.
No,
I'm pretty
you,
sure
you Warmaw Challenger here, right? Warmaw Challenger does not want to fight any minions in this deck. Tell me a minion that Warmaw Challenger wants to actually take on 1v1.
Cobalt Sticky Figure.
No! Cobalt Sticky Finger wins that fight. He has
All
a
right,
weight
so-
advantage. It's not fair.
So I do like this play. You play around Caliber because you're gonna have to play into Cobalt Sticky Finger at some point. Swing with it, get the value from it. Only give him
One charge.
one charge, and because of that, I kind of want Briarthorn to just play a leg pressure here.
Yeah, but then he upgrades it, and then you've missed your chance to.
How curious.
Okay, I see where you're going with it, TJ. I feel like it's optimistic because now a weapon will have been destroyed, and so if he had the opportunity to say play Horde Pillager on a future turn, you wouldn't play it this turn. But now he can guarantee destroy his weapon, so that's one. The second is that you give him the opportunity to use upgrade effects.
And Cunning Class. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. It also delays Guardian Animals, but maybe that's like not as big of a deal as the other things that you mentioned. I don't know.
ETC thinking about how he wants to utilize his last two mana crystals here. If he plays the second Corsair Cache, nothing happens. There's no anchor. So that's just a dead card for now. And now Briarthorn is so far ahead. He drew his Teacher's Pet. And he does not want to overextend here. Wants to use his Guardian Animals simply to rush into his opponent's minions and board. And if not, then Briarthorn gets full development opportunity. You know what would be great, TJ?
What?
If Briarthorn ends up not playing Cobalt Sticky Finger and winning anyways. Because that would be a lesson on Tech Cards 101. Oh, he's playing the Red Caliber! TJ!
Big mistake. That's exactly what Briarthorn wanted. Perfect mind games execution.
King Mugla! He's a god gamer.
Yes.
ETC can't believe it.
ETC, come on, man.
What?
Look
Look-
surprised all you
Look at
want.
this!
He 3
TJ!
kept.
The Soul the Forest play. Aw, he had the Forest Aid as well, but Nourish is really good, actually, because Nourish gives him card draw. Or he could bite and try to end this game.
I think you just hard draw first.
I don't know. Bite,
Yeah, actually, I
Bite's
don't know.
a
You're
lot of damage, and he might actually kill it.
Yeah, no,
With
you're
the
right.
bite.
It's bite. It's bite. It's bite 100%. Also, he has enough card draw. He's played Teacher's Pit and he's played Leg Pressure. Like, this Guardian Animals is guaranteed at least one Twilight Runner.
Right, because if ETC clears this board, he has to wipe everything clean.
Try to keep yourselves
Briarthorn wouldn't have lethal. But he can't do that on 6 mana very easily, and had Briarthorn picked Bite, he would have lethal this turn.
Yeah, right.
He would have had
Bite was the
exact
play.
lethal.
Bite was the
Yeah.
Bite was the pick.
Oh, and then we could have called him Biterthorn.
We.
Well, I assume that we're casting together still, TJ, after today.
Oh man, it's funny because he kept Guardian Animals and he's just like
Yeah, he's not playing.
he's not
Guardian
playing
Animals
it.
at all. He's drawing the beast from his deck naturally.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it would have been
He's gonna have
exactly
an
with the fight. Oh no, he just wants to
Oh.
get closer to his second Cobalt Sticky Finger.
Wait. Blade Storm. How many bombs are in the deck for Briarthorn? 3?
How many
4.
bombs are in Briarthorn's deck, or how many bombs are in ETC's deck? Briarthorn
Briarthorn's deck.
only has 2. He has 3 bombs in his deck now.
3 bombs. Okay.
Yeah.
Cobalt sticky fingers with a lethal.
The Nourish was the pick. The Nourish was
Goddamn
the pick.
genius. Man, EDZ didn't even let him get the satisfaction
No
of
reaction.
using the hero power. No reaction off the
That was the
top.
sickest game ever.
Oh.
Like, he put 8 Kobold Sticky Fingers in his lineup to do exactly that. But that's so hopeful that it's going to happen twice. He got to play both Kobold Sticky Fingers and Steelwars Calibers both times. Ugh.
Right. The sticky finger off the top, and yet, you know, it was so over, but it was really, really fun to see Briarthorn be able to slam dunk that warrior with the druid, and didn't even have to play Guardian Animals, which makes us wonder, TJ. We should maybe submit this to mull it over with Gia. Was it correct to keep Guardian Animals?
Yes, Overgrowth. Those are
He
the
didn't play
3
it.
best cards. He didn't play it, but
play it.
there would have been a lot of situations that he would have played it. What, you just saying keep Overgrowth and Kobold Sticky Finger, that's it? Or you don't even need Overgrowth.
Imagine having 2 sticky fingers like he did,
Yeah,
though.
just
Then he wouldn't have
Throw
to
it
top
all
deck it.
away, except for the Sticky Finger.
Okay, so Briarthorn going to his Control Priest. He's got 2 sticky fingers. I want to contextualize just how many Cobalt sticky fingers Briarthorn has. If you take 2 of the greatest basketball players to ever do it, one currently still playing LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace, Mamba forever. Together, they have combined 8 NBA championships. That's as many Cobalt sticky fingers Briarthorn has in his lineup.
That's a lot.
Combine both of the NBA Finals rings. Briarthorn has that many sticky fingers. It's a lot. There's a lot going on with this lineup, and he is ready to go. I'm only saying that because I've been enjoying the NBA playoffs a lot. It's really fun. Not as intense, of course, as the Hearthstone Grandmasters playoffs coming up. Just a short couple of weeks, TJ. It's going to be intense. You know what's actually... This is a misnomer. This is actually not true at all, TJ. What? Because with cards like Raise Dead, somehow Briarthorn has bent the rules of the universe in Hearthstone and said, I can even play more than 8 sticky fingers. He can play 10.
No, he can play 12 because he has 2 Sticky Fingers. So if those are the only minions he plays, he can then raise dead both of them back twice.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Job's done.
Back it up.
That's right. I don't know how Briarthorn's done it. Bomb being drawn immediately, though. But, I mean, it's time, TJ. It's time to sticky finger. Why does he always have it? Oh, God, when you mulligan so hard for it, you actually have it around a little bit under 50% of the time. If you're going second and you hard mulligan for a very specific card, you have it like in the mid 40s percent of the time. So Briarthorn, momentum is on his side. ETC finds the Brightwing. What can this Brightwing generate? Frizz Kindle Root.
Well, he has Deathwing Mad Aspect, so that being 6 mana is, I mean, not the worst thing in the world, right?
Well, ETC has dealt a pretty sizable amount of damage onto Briarthorn right now. If I'm ETC, I think I'm slamming this Crocs.
Yep.
Return is nigh.
So an opportunity for a win because Kronks represents consistent damage.
Yes. Although this plagued prototype proto Drake is going to be hard to remove, and then you have a good opportunity to target it with the apotheosis.
Yeah.
What is a loon's will?
But ETC's got that checked. He can tempo him. Frizz plus the coerce.
Frizz plus coerce.
Wait. Yeah, it's correct to do that, I think. I was thinking about whether or not we could squeeze in things like upgrading cutting class beforehand, but... Okay.
Can you kill what comes out of it, though? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, he's pushing damage.
Yeah, he's pushing damage.
He says not only is Cobalt Sticky Finger not a card, he also says Apotheosis got rotated out. And he can... he can revive the Sticky Finger!
Wait, he's had to have another minion.
He has. The proto Drake
Yeah,
has to die,
but
too.
I mean, like another one. Is it guaranteed Sticky Finger?
Well, I'm saying he could, TJ. He's gonna renew the Ancient of Lore. Ooh, Shadow or Death. Anticipating perhaps Deathwing? I appreciate the mercy demonstrated from Briarthorn to let ETC keep this axe instead of immediately crushing his dream with an acidic swamp ooze.
You could keep your pathetic axe. The greatest strategy of all time, executed flawlessly.
I mean, this is a problem for ETC. The way he can remove the Ancient of Lore that I'm seeing is to tank the 7 damage on the Ancient of Lore by using the upgrade and then Blade Storm. Or he can Blade Storm twice. Oh no, he can't. You're just kidding. He has 4 mana because he played the cutting class.
Yeah. This is brutal.
Too late. His return is nigh.
At least he's got some health to work with.
Okay, I think I like the Dragon Maw here for our Briarthorn because your opponent's kind of showing like a little bit of an inability to remove minions, and you can just really press in here. Oh,
yeah.
He wants more. Oh, okay, found the Proto Drake. That's a really nice. Okay, fine. I guess that's like the actual best minion you could get. It's pretty sick. I was kind of hoping for more
sick.
Sticky Finger action. You gonna go for it? Galakron puts you in a situation for ETC side where he actually could generate some damage consistently, which might be valuable, but at the same time, it does feel like you are opening yourself up to potentially get crushed by the fact that you can't heal anymore. And there's so much stickiness onto the board. It's about to get a lot worse too. Dragon Maw Scorcher plus the Apotheosis looks really powerful here.
Yeah, you just have so much protection against Brawl. You heal back up to full. Does he even have to play the Poacher?
The Scorcher?
And you just like Apotheosis and
Ooze. Nah, you just Apotheosis pass, right? That's what you're talking about.
yeah, Apotheosis heal pass.
I like it. I love that he has these 2 oozes and he just doesn't even need them.
Yeah.
Okay, Blade Storm. Sword and board. What comes out of the Proto Drake?
Ah, perfect size.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
For
yeah,
the
yeah.
Dr. Krasnov.
Krasnov can eat enough.
Consider this a house call.
I mean, ETC's hanging in there.
So you
All
Mind
right.
Flayer Karj, so that way when you draw your second Cobalt Sticky Finger off the top next turn and steal his Wrench
Yes.
Caliber that he's going to play, you can rush it into the first Kindle Roost that ETC is going to play.
Wait, TJ, what are you talking about? You play Renew right now. You get the Raise Dead right now. You get Sticky Finger right now. Stop dreaming so small. Gotta dream big. Dream Briarthorn. Because for whatever the reason is, we're holding on to this 6 Swampus.
Well, he's got 2 more Wrench Calibers left.
It's true. That's true.
Because of the Horde Pillager. And he
Right.
is not guaranteed to draw his Cobalt Sticky Finger by that point.
That is true. And Briarthorn is protecting his health because ultimately, like, that's just the way you guarantee victory, right? Like, as much as we're kind of, joking around and kind of talking about how how sad it is to see like Warrior get crushed, I guess, in such a one-sided affair. But like, Briarthorn's playing correctly here. Like, he's just healing up, and there's nothing that ETC can really do if he just plays it this exact way. Just play a minion, and if you can afford to, heal. And when they play a weapon, destroy it.
Oh, Crimson Hothead with like a Renew.
Crimson High is definitely appealing. We don't have enough singular cards, I think, for Dragon Queen Alexstrasza.
Let me look at the cards left in the deck.
What?
Especially if, ETC shuffles another bomb into it. They just don't think it's possible for him to have Alexstrasza reasonably.
Still left in his deck, he has 2 ofs, Raised Dead, Cleric of... Wait, no. What? Oh yeah, those were generated. Shadow Word Death, Cleric of Scales, and Raised Dead, he has. All right, keep hitting him.
All right.
Cobalt Sticky Finger off the top. Ready?
I'm so ready, TJ.
Aw.
Well, you could just settle for a 6 Swampus, I suppose. Ooh, Thought Steal. Okay. So you could play the Crimson Hothead.
He's got other plans.
Thought Steal was interesting there, like before the Crimson Hothead. Is he gonna play Warmaw Challenger here?
What is that?
Raise Dead. Oh, if he did that first, he would have gotten the opportunity to get Sticky Finger.
Alright, there's Shadow of Death. He actually only has 1 duplicate left in his deck.
Oh yeah, wait. I forgot that he had the Cabal Acolyte. He could have also opted for... Oh,
steal
wow.
Yeah.
Could have opted to steal it, but I think he was waiting for a bigger target. I am pretty shocked by that. That he traded that Cobalt Spell Cannon. I also am totally okay with killing Warrior instead of trading into everything, but this is also fine. Briarthorn can now steal that Deathwing and force a brawl. I think this is all you need, though. You don't actually need to extend any further onto the board.
Yep.
Dance, puppet, dance.
There's one bomb in the deck.
Okay. Yeah, ETC has to go for this brawl. There's really nothing else he can do. Ends up seeing the Frizz. So he's alive.
This will break your wall.
At 1.
Wait, Wand Maker.
I don't think I can find anything.
Wand Maker can get. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it right now.
Yeah, Interfire wouldn't increase the power. And now ETC has to brawl again, hope that the evil Quartermaster survives. But this is just, there's no way for him to win. His last 5 cards are Corsair Cash, which is dead. Evil Quartermaster, not doing much. Shield Block, pretty much dead. Lord Barav, alright, cool. And Horde Pillager, which is the only card really left in his deck that does much to support his game plan, but he is all sorts of dead right now.
Very much so. So we'll see if Briarthorn is able to, go beyond that. He's won his series today, and he's 2-3, which means that he might even be in contention for playoffs. TJ, which is a very far cry from the opposite side of being 1-4, which means you're like almost certainly going to be in the relegation bracket, at the very least, maybe auto relegation. So a really important victory both for Bloodyface and Briarthorn today, which means that the standings are even closer than they were yesterday.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it just feels like the players that are lower in the standings are beating the players that are higher in the standings. The only exception, I think, over the past couple of days was like Nagidon versus Frozen, which was a rough series. But, I mean, look at that. That's just kind of insane.